Look up at the moon tonight. It looks calm, bright, and familiar. People have looked at it for thousands of years. Kings, sailors, scientists, and children have all seen the same face looking back at Earth. But there is another side of the moon that no human being had ever seen for most of history. It stayed hidden for thousands of years, making people wonder what secret it was hiding. What is covered with giant mountains? Did it have huge oceans, or was it completely different from the side we know? Today we know the answers because spacecraft finally traveled around the moon and photographed its hidden face. Their picture changed our understanding of the moon forever. Before we discover those amazing photographs, we need to understand one important fact. Many people call it the dark side of the moon. That sounds exciting, but it is not true. The hidden side is not always dark. It receives sunlight just like every other part of the moon. The real reason we need to see it is because the moon spins at exactly the same speed that it travels around Earth. Because of this, one side always faces our planet while the other side always faces deep space. Long before rockets existed, people could only imagine what the hidden side looked like. Ancient civilization watched it, the moon carefully. They created stories and legends to explain its beauty, but no telescope on Earth could ever see beyond the edge of the moon. Even the world's greatest astronomers had no idea what the far side looked like. It remained one of the greatest mysteries in the night sky. In early 60s, the invention of the telescope changed astronomy forever. Scientists could now see giant craters, high mountains, and white plains on the moon. It looked like an ancient world that had been frozen in time. Yet, even with those powerful new tools, only one side could be studied. The hidden side remained completely invisible from Earth. For hundreds of years, maps of the moon became more detailed. Scientists gave names to mountains, valleys, and giant craters. Every new telescope revealed something new, but every map had the same problem. Nearly half of the moon was missing. Nobody knew what existed on the other side. The empty space on those maps remind scientists that one of the space's greatest mystery was still waiting to be solved. Everything changed during the 20th century. Technology advanced faster than ever before. Powerful rockets were being built and countries dreamed of exploring space. For the first time in human history, people believed they could send machines beyond Earth and finally discover what was hiding on the far side of the moon. The race to the moon became one of the biggest scientific competitions in history. Every successful mission brought humans one step closer to solving the mystery. Scientists know that if a spacecraft could fly behind the moon, it could finally take the first photograph of the hidden side. The whole world waited with excitement. Then the historic day finally arrived. A spacecraft flew behind the moon, entering a place that no human eyes had ever seen. For a short time, radio signals disappeared because the moon blocked communication with Earth. Everyone waited nervously. When contact returned, the spacecraft carried something priceless. It had taken the first photograph of the moon's hidden face. When the first photograph arrived on Earth, scientists could hardly believe that they were seeing The hidden side looked completely different from the side that faced Earth. People expected to see large dark plains like the ones visible from Earth. Instead, the picture showed a rugged and ancient world filled with countless craters. It looked older, wilder, and more damaged than anyone had imagined. The side of the moon we see from Earth has many dark areas. Long ago, people thought these places were oceans, so they gave them names like the Sea of Tranquility and the Sea of Serenity, but these are not oceans. They are white plains made from ancient lava that cooled billions of years ago. On the far side, these dark lava plains are very rare. Most of the surface is bright, rocky, and covered with craters. Some of the craters on the far side are so large that entire city could fit inside them. These giant scars were created when huge space rocks crashed into the moon billions of years ago. Because the moon has almost no atmosphere, nothing slowed these rocks down. They hit the surface at incredible speed, creating explosions far more powerful than any weapon ever built by humans. Unlike Earth, the moon has almost no wind, no rain, and no flowing rivers. That means these giant craters do not disappear. They remain almost exactly as they were when they were created billions of years ago. Every crater tells the story of an ancient impact from the early days of our solar system. As better spacecraft reached the moon, the photograph became clear and more detailed. Scientists could not see towering mountains, deep valleys, long ridges, and enormous impact bases. Every new mission revealed something that had never been seen before. The hidden side slowly became less mysterious, but it also became even more fascinating. One discovery amazed scientists more than almost anything else. The far side has a much thicker outer layer than the side facing Earth. Because of this, hot lava from deep inside the moon could not easily reach the surface. That is one reason why there are so few dark lava plains on the hidden side. The more scientists studied these photographs, the more questions appeared. Why were the two sides of the moon so different? How could one world have two completely different faces? Finding the answers would take many more years of research, new spacecraft, and even more detailed photographs from orbit around the moon. To understand why the far side looks so different, scientists had to travel back in time, not with a machine, but with research. They studied the moon's history from billions of years ago. At that time, the moon was a hot, glowing world. Its surface was covered with melted rocks. Slowly, as millions of years passed, the moon began to cool. A hard outer layer formed, creating the rocky surface we see today. After the moon cooled, a time called the heavy bombardment began. During this period, countless asteroids and comets crashed into the moon day after day, year after year, and for billions of years, giant rocks from space struck the surface. Each impact left another crater. Since the moon has almost no atmosphere to protect it, this impact changed its surface forever. The far side received many of these powerful impacts. Some collisions were so enormous that they dug Deep into the moon's crust, mountains rose around the edge of the craters, while broken rocks spread across the landscape. Even today, those ancient scares remain almost untouched, acting like a time capsule from the early solar system. Scientists also discovered that the hidden side has more highlands than the side facing Earth. These highlands are brighter because they are made of different kinds of rock. When astronauts looked at the moon from space, they could clearly see that the far side reflects more sunlight than the darker plains on the near side. One of the greatest discoveries was an enormous crater called the South Pole Aitken Basin. It is one of the largest impact craters ever found in the entire solar system. It stretches for around 2,500 kilometers across the moon. Scientists believe the object that created it stuck with incredible force billions of years ago, changing the moon forever. The South Pole is so large that it cannot be seen all at once from the surface. Only spacecraft orbiting high above the moon can capture its true size. Looking at these images make people realize just how powerful the ancient collisions in our solar system really were. As technology improved, NASA and other space agencies sent better spacecraft equipped with advanced cameras. These missions photographed the moon in incredible detail. They measured the height of mountains, the depth of craters, and even the chemical makeup of the rocks. Every new image helps scientists understand the moon a little better. The photographs revealed a landscape unlike anywhere on Earth. There were sharp cliffs, deep valleys, long chains of mountains, and rocky fields stretching as far as the eye could see. Without wind or water, the surface had remained almost untouched for billions of years. It was like looking into the distant past of our solar system. As scientists look closer at the new photographs, they notice something surprising. The far side of the moon has fewer large, dark lava plains than the side facing Earth. This was a big mystery. If both sides were part of the same moon, why did they look so different? Researchers spent many years studying the image, searching for clues hidden in the rocks and craters. One idea is that the far side cooled faster than the near side. As the moon became colder, its outer layer became thicker. This thick crust made it much harder for hot lava from deep inside the moon to reach the surface. On the near side, the crust was thicker, allowing lava to spread across huge areas and create the dark plains we see today. The hidden side also helps scientists understand the history of our solar system. Every crater is like a page in a history book. By counting the number of craters and studying their shapes, scientists can estimate how old different parts of the moon are. Some areas have remained almost untouched for more than 4 billion years. NASA satellites and orbiting spacecraft did more than take big, beautiful pictures. They also collected important scientific data. They measured temperature, gravity, and the minerals found in the rocks. This information helps scientists build a better picture of how the moon formed and how it changed over billions of years. One of the most exciting discoveries was the possibility of frozen water near the moon's south pole. Some deep craters never receive sunlight because the sun stays too low in the sky. These places remain extremely cold all at the time. Scientists believe ice may have survived there for billions of years. Finding water on the moon would be a huge discovery. Future astronauts could use it for drinking, growing plants, and even making rocket fuel. This is why many modern space missions are focused on explaining and exploring the moon's south pole. It could become an important place for future human exploration. Today, the far side of the moon is no longer an invisible mystery. Thanks to decades of space exploration, we have thousands of photographs showing its mountains, whale eyes, giant craters, and ancient landscape. But every new mission continues to reveal fresh details. The moon still holds many secrets, and scientists believe its hidden face has much more to teach us about the history of the solar system. The far side of the moon is much quieter than side facing Earth. That may sound strange, but it is true in one special way. The moon itself blocks radio signals coming from Earth. This creates a place that is almost completely free from human made radio noise. For scientists, this is one of the best places in the solar system to study the universe without interference. Because the far side is so quiet, scientists have dreamed of building giant radio telescopes there. This telescope could listen to very weak signals coming from distant galaxies, ancient stars, and even the early universe from Earth. Many of these signals are hidden by radio noise created by our technology. Modern satellites continue to circle the moon every day. They photograph places that were once impossible to see. Each new image is sharper than the last. Scientists can now study rocks, cliffs, and small craters in incredible detail. Every orbit adds another piece of the moon's story. Some of the photographs show huge boulders resting on steep hillside. Others reveal narrow craters stretching across the surface. These features help scientists understand how the moon changed over time. Even though the moon seems quiet, small changes still happen as rocks break apart after billions of years of heating and cooling. Scientists have also created detailed three-dimensional maps of the moon. By combining thousands of satellite photographs, computers can show the exact shape of mountains, valleys, and craters. These maps help future missions choose safe places to land and explore. Every new mission teaches us something different. Some spacecraft search for water, others study rocks and minerals. Some measure gravity while others photograph the surface again and again. Together, these missions are slowly building the most complete picture of the moon that humans have ever had. One question still interests scientists today: could people one day build a pyramid base on the moon? The far side has advantages and challenges. It offers a quiet place for science, but it is difficult to communication directly with Earth. Spatial relay satellites would be needed to keep astronauts connected. The photographs from orbit have shown that the moon is not just a lifeless rock, it is a world with a long and dramatic history. Every mountain, every crater, and every valley tells the story of powerful impacts, floating lava, and billions of years of change. The moon has become a giant history book written in stone. The moon may look small when we see it from Earth, but it is a world full of incredible places. Some craters are more than 100 kilometers wide. Others have tall, central peaks that rise from the middle like giant mountains. These peaks were formed when the ground bounced back immediately after massive impact, cracking, creating landscapes unlike anything on Earth. One reason the moon still looks ancient is because it has almost no atmosphere. On Earth, wind, rain, rivers, and plants slowly erase the marks of the past. On the moon, none of these things exist. A crater made billions of years ago can still look almost the same today. It is one of the best preserved records of the early solar system. Scientists often compare the moon to a giant museum. Instead of painting or old buildings, this museum holds the history of space itself. Every crater, every broken rock, and every mountain has remained in place for billions of years. By studying them, scientists learn now only about the moon but also about the early history of Earth and the other planets. The hidden side of the moon also reminds us how much exploration has changed human knowledge. Thousands of years ago, people could only imagine what was there. Today, thanks to spacecraft and satellites, anyone can see detailed photograph of a place that was once completely unknown. A mystery that lasted for thousands of years was solved in just a few decades of space exploration. Even now, scientists are planning new missions to the moon. They want to collect more rock samples, research for frozen water, and explore places that no spacecraft had ever visited. Every mission is another step toward understanding our coolest neighbor in space. The moon still has many stories left to tell. When we look at the moon tonight, we are seeing only one of its face. The other side is still there, silently traveling through space. It is covered with ancient craters, towering mountains, and the marks of a violent past. Thanks to the photographs taken by spacecraft, that hidden world is no longer invisible. It has become one of the most studied places beyond Earth. The story of the moon's hidden side is more than a story about photographs. It is a story about human curiosity. For thousands of years, people wondered what lay beyond the sight they could see. Instead of accepting the mystery, they built better telescopes, stronger rockets, and smarter spacecraft. Those effects revealed an ancient world that has been waiting in silence for billions of years. And as new missions continue to explore the moon, one thing is certain: the next great discovery could be waiting just beyond the next crater. Thank you so much for watching until the end. The moon has been above us for thousands of years, but there are still so many things we are learning about it. What was once a mystery hidden from human eyes can now be explored through spacecraft, photographs, and science. If you enjoyed this journey to the far side of the moon, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification for more fascinating stories from history, science, space, and the mysteries of our world. Thank you for being here and thank you for exploring with us. Until the next story, keep looking up.